When I got out of the military, I had a hard time translating my military experience into the civilian world. I'll be honest with you, if it wasn't for my wife, I probably would have been that homeless or impoverished vet. But it can be easier with the right support. I'm Mark Casper, and I'm the Executive Director of Tech for Troops. In today's world, you have to have a computer to be able to apply for jobs. Our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back in the workforce.
Here at Tech for Troops, we're here to push you forward to get you back to where you want to be in life. When the veterans come in, I teach them everything you could think of that's done with a computer. I want them to feel that this is a tool that's going to help them get their life back.
I went into a kind of a deep depression. Eventually, I lost my job and I was out on the street. The computer was able to connect me to the web, and I was able to start putting resumes out. And you have to have these small building blocks to get from point A to point B. I'm not worried about employment anymore.
The need is great, and we want to be able to support our veterans across the nation.
All right, welcome everyone to the Tech for Troops Cup Series, and here tonight we are at the Chicagoland Speedway. Thanks for tuning in to the IWM broadcast channel tonight. I'm Rick Souza here with my co-broadcaster John DeRugis here in the booth, and we are looking forward to some racing here at Chicagoland.
Absolutely. Chicagoland is a track that is not on the Cup circuit anymore, but we brought it back after a slight schedule change, and here we are in Illinois looking at these Tech for Troop Cup Series drivers in their second to last race before we reach the playoffs. So this race is a big one. This race is a lot like Kansas. You can ride the high line. There's a lot of things going on here in Chicagoland, and there's going to be some favorites definitely up near the front. We got qualifying that is just starting here, looking at Chuck Van Scoik there in that Goat Racing Diecast 23 here at Chicagoland, and we got all these drivers on track. Let's take a look and see what's going on here from the race information. 125 laps will bring you here tonight. Flag-to-flag coverage on the IWM Broadcast Network. Pit road speed, 50 miles an hour. No quick repairs. 3 sets of tires. 60% fuel, and 3 green-white checkers. And Rick, the track temp is very cool. A nice 69 degrees, so looks like it should be a fairly grippy track as we go from day to night.
Absolutely. We should definitely see some great racing. Great racing. We saw some practice here, some good side-by-side racing, and even some 3 wide. So we'll hope these guys can keep it together. We have a tremendous field tonight. We have got 35 available slots. 41 teams came out to qualify. 6 teams will pack their hauler and go home tonight.
Yeah, and it may be a playoff driver. I mean, this is huge. It could be somebody who is needing points that will sit below that 35th place spot. So we'll see what happens here. But while we are talking about points, let's and point and playoffs and all this fun stuff. Let's bring up the point standings as they stand going into the second to last race.
They are up. So there you see Chris Worrell on top. 3 wins to his credit. He's punched his ticket, as has Lilith Peters, Chuck Van Scoik, James Lowe, and Nathan Harper. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Really from the first driver there on points is Mike Slogter. He's there at 265 points, but only 4 points behind says John Ledger. 1 point behind it's Luke Bullard. 3 points behind Bostic, Horton. And as they tail back off, then you go down to Garrett Johnston, who sits right at that cut line at 16. But right outside, Jeff Nairn, -6. Aaron Jackson, -11. William Corinne, -14. And Philip Vandertwick, -25. So right there, those drivers are not that far out from trying to crack into the top 16. But, John, we've only got this and one other race left.
We do, and Rick, I'm watching these qualifying, the order right now. There are 3 drivers right now sitting below that haven't even run a qualifying lap yet that are currently in the top 16 in points. Actually, I take that back. Scotty Grove just moved up to 15th, but Sammy Harrell and Justin Horton are 2 drivers that have not put up a qualifying lap yet with just a minute and 20 seconds to go. I do not know where they are. They are not on track. I don't see them. But them missing this race is huge.
Sammy Harrell did run a lap. He is now sitting in 26th.
All right, so 26th there, but Justin Horton, not sure. Haven't seen his lap time show up, but he is currently sitting.
Yeah, the problem is
right there in 10th.
Is Nathan Harper, although he's punched his ticket already, he is sitting 37th. He is outside.
Yeah, I think Nathan Harper might miss this race. He does have 1 win. He locked himself into the championship battle already in the playoffs.
Yeah, he's already run his qualifying laps. He is out.
Yeah, he is out. So right now, the first 6 drivers that are out of this race: Zach Allen, Nathan Harper, Maurice Burnett, Pete Woodrum, David Watts, and your 10th placed point driver, Justin Horton, who I don't think he'll get a lap in, Rick. We have 20 seconds to go.
Yeah, it's over.
I think it's done. That 2 playoff drivers out, and that's what happens when you have these big fields.
Yep,
not going to say anything until it's solidified. Well, I just got word from race control that actually he will miss the race. Not sure if that is because of him not being in the race. He said he hit the wall and slid into the second lap. Oh, that is actually word from Justin Horton.
Yep.
So wrecked under the qualifying session. So
that happens in real life as well.
It does.
All right. Looks like we are getting ready to grid here.
Absolutely. Let's see if we can bring up our starting lineup for tonight's T4T Cup Series race at Chicagoland.
We're trying. Grid's a little bit slow and popping up. We'll see if that. Oh, there we go.
There we go. All righty. Well, here's your starting lineup for tonight's T4T Cup Series race, brought to you by T4T and the Goat Racing Diecast. Scotty Grove on pole with Maxwell Caldwell, Mad Max sitting in second, Andrew Palesci sitting in third, with Justin Lewis starting in fourth, Chris Worrell starting in P5, Zach Ward starting in sixth, Jeff Nairn starting in seventh, with Chad Jones starting in P8. P9 is occupied by Luke Bullard, and Lilith Peters rounds out the top 10.
James Lowe finds himself in 11th, with Greg Stone to his outside in 12th. In 13th, Christopher Howell, Jeremy Flanagan in 14th. Christoph Hall in 15th, Chuck Van Scoik in 16th, John Ledger in 17th, and Aiden Lucas in 18th. Ryan D. Cook finds himself in 19th, with Brandon Brown in 20th.
Starting in the 21st position is the number 14 of Mike Slavker with Wyatt Grady, who's outside starting in 22nd. 23rd is occupied by the number 22 Ty Bostic with Todd Merkel there starting in position number 24. Starting in P25, Austin Call with Sammy Harold is outside starting in 26th. Cody Sturgill starts in 27th with Marco Berube, who's outside starting in 28th. Dalton Schley starts in 29th with William Corinne starting in 30th.
All right, in 31st, Jeff Nene. 32nd is Philip Vandertwick. 33rd, Dustin Coggin. 34th, Aaron Jackson. Garrett Johnson takes the last spot, and just we'll let you see who did not make the race. Unfortunately, Zach Allen in 36 did not make the race. Nathan Harper did not make the race. Maurice Burnett, Pete Woodrum, David Watts, and Justin Horton did not make tonight's field.
That's tough. When you have this many cars show up for a race, you're definitely battling up there. And qualifying, it was separated by about 0.3 of a second, so it was quick. Rick, really quick before we get to green, let's bring up my 3 keys for tonight's race. It's Chicagoland. We originally were going to go to the Worldwide Technology Raceway, so that would apply a lot of Milwaukee Mile or New Hampshire specific keys. But tonight here, I'm going to go with 3 simple ones. Number 1, track position. I think you're going to have track position here with a big field like we have. You got to start out front. Number 2, I'm going to say drafting, especially early on in runs. You can draft here, especially on the front of the back stretch, especially if you get a run out of turn 2 and turn 4. You'll be able to draft up, and the runs will be very large tonight. And the 3rd is green flag stops. Since we are now at 1.5 miles, I believe green flag stops are going to be very important, especially with the allocation of only 3 tire sets. 1 in the car and 2 in the pits. And here we go. Pace car makes its way down pit road, and we are green flag racing from Chicagoland. Scotty Grove, Maxwell Caldwell, Mad Max as I call him, race down into turn 1.
A lot of moving and shaking already on this first lap as it's just underway. You saw the 06 of Chris Royal give a pretty good push. He's helping out the 91 of Andrew Palesci right there, but solid start to this with the 94 of Max Caldwell on the outside, beginning to drift down and drop in front.
Maxwell Caldwell, Mad Max, leads lap number 1, and we saw this last week. Once he got to the front, he was hard to get around.
Good tight racing here already here at Chicagoland, and thanks again for tuning in the Tech for Troops Goat Racing Diecast Series. This is our second to last regular season event here, and next week we will be at Talladega for the final regular season race before we move on to the playoffs. Oh.
And Rick, yeah, there's a lot of action going on. 3 wide in the back, 3 wide in the middle.
Yeah, I just saw the 43. I thought of Sammy Harrell tag the wall. See the 01 of Lilith Peters trying to work her way up.
You know, that's the beauty of this track is you can run the low line, you can run the middle line, you can run the high line. It's a very driver-friendly track. You can run anywhere. Obviously, the wear is going to be much different depending on what line you run, but we're seeing so far drivers taking the low and the high line early on. Looking right there, that is the 55 of Scotty Grove. On the inside of him is Zach Warden, the 7, trying to move up.
Yeah, tight battle still at the front with Justin Lewis out front, but the 7 of Zach Ward finds himself to the inside of the 55.
And we call Zach Ward's name all the time. Unfortunately, he hasn't had the finishes that we believe he deserves, but he's always battling up there near the front, really in the top 5.
Absolutely. See, Chad Jones up there already in the 70. He's up there from Kaiser Cat Motorsports, finding himself right now sitting in the 4th position. And you can see they're 3 wide, just right behind him.
Yeah, 3 wide for sure now, funneling back down to 2 wide, and that's the beauty of this track is you can run side by side for a while, and the first 18 cars are separated by 2 seconds, only 2 seconds. So shows you how close this will be, and this is showing you the draft. I mean, this is a huge pack we got right now. We got 3 wide back there. I believe that is Christopher Howell and Greg Stone. Looking right there in the back, 3 wide. Chris Farrell in the middle now.
So that's a little sketchy right now. Nearly 4 wide across the front stretch.
And that's the thing about Chicagoland is oftentimes drivers will try to go below on the apron to try to gain a little bit of speed, and you have to know if that driver's there or not. And oftentimes you can get door slammed because you're not sure if the inside car actually went to the low line. As you see Christopher Howell there trying to just mitigate what's happening. Oh, tight. Oh, that was close, Rick.
Yeah, that's the number 68 of Brandon Brown. He's up 8 positions from the start, finding himself right now in 10th.
Yeah, he's working his way through the field pretty quickly. I mean, he is battling up there. He is no slouch. That's Brandon Brown.
His contact with Andrew Palesci right there. Andrew's finding himself sliding pretty far back. He's down 9 spots.
Yeah, it definitely looks a little loose for sure.
Well, we're already into lap 9 of this, but there's a spin in the back.
Yep, wrecking in the back. Hard contact. I believe is that Corinne?
I think that is Corinne and someone else. I think Dalton Shy is also involved. Yep. So first caution out here on lap 9 with an incident between Dalton Schley and William Corinne. Let's try to see if we can bring up just what happened. Oh, that wasn't, that's unfortunately one of those drivers that's a victim of circumstance there. Looks like the 80.
Oh, got a little help there from the 42.
Yep. Let's bring that back.
That's Dustin Coggin.
All right, so watching it back, you see the 85 down below, you see the 42 in front, and then the 81 is right there in front. If I had to guess, it looked like the 81 actually backed out of the throttle a bit.
Yeah, pretty heavy.
The 47 in front of him, that's Austin Call, may have backed out. And
the 85 went low. Yeah, trying to avoid it. The 81 kept on sliding. And watch this 85 get up in the air right here.
That sends 81 hard. That's going to be toast on that. 81 is gone. Same thing on the 85. Looks like they both have broken a toe link on that right front.
Yep, they're going to be out for sure.
Yeah. All right. So with that,
have drivers coming down pit road.
Pit road is packed. Now it looks like all fuel.
Yeah, all fuel for sure. 5.83 second stops all across the board between 5.8 and about 6.5.
All right. Let's get back to where we're at. So thanks again for tuning in. We are right now under our first caution of the night here around lap 9-ish, 9:10, with an incident with the 85 and the 81. I do not know if they will. I think the 85 is already out. The 81 is trying to make necessary repairs.
It's a hard hit for both drivers, so I'm kind of curious to see how that'll work out, especially for the 85. Scotty Grove comes back down pit road, probably going to top off on some fuel, but something interesting, Rick, as we just got lights out of the pace car. You have the first 17 cars who did not pit.
Correct.
And you have the rest of the field, so it's basically split literally in half. So there's no tire difference. Nobody took tires. It's just fuel. So now you have some drivers who are going to be on a much different fuel strategy. And if we know how fuel strategy runs here at 1.5 miles, it's it's been pretty consistent with other mile and a halves. And
Yeah.
looking at this, I'm going to do some math really quick. So anywhere between 35 to 40 laps they can run. So they pit on lap, let's say 52, or I'll say 50. They had to pit on lap 90. They'll be good to go to the end. These other drivers probably going to pit about lap 43, then pit on lap 83. So if we're looking at about 40 lap runs here, that's very close. Everybody still has to make 2 stops. The guys that did not come down pit road, we got to pay attention to, because they might be cutting it too close if there's not another caution.
Yep.
But either way, we're going back to green flag racing here at Chicagoland, and brand new field up at the front. Justin Lewis, Chad Jones now leading the pack into turn 1.
Yep, Luke Bullard finds himself up there. Jeff Narron with Southern E Motorsports, Zach Ward, Max Caldwell. Good restart so far. Chad Jones finds himself in second. A little bit of contact with, I think it was John Ledger. He'll tag the wall, but John seems to love to ride that safer barrier.
Got 3 wide in the back, or in the middle actually. That is the 88 of Christopher Howell, the 06 of Christopher Rell. Oh, contact between the 94 and the 06. Brandon Brown going on the inside of Merkel.
Brandon Brown finds himself in 12th.
We got 3 wide for 4th place. You got racing all over the place here.
Yeah, Les Lilith Peters finding herself up there in 4th to the outside of the 03 of Luke Bullard.
You can see the 01, the 88 already exploring that high line here. They're going to get a great run out of the corner.
All right, great racing here in Chicagoland with these T4T Cup Series drivers. 35 entries tonight. Got 1 retiree from that first caution at lap 9. That's going to be Dalton Shy. William Crin still finds himself in the pits. You saw the 01 of Lilith Peters got super loose. She tagged the wall a little bit there. Not bad, but that car was very loose out of 4.
Yeah, and that's stacked up the back of the field, or in the middle of the pack right there, just a little bit. And that's what will happen here is if a driver lets out of the gas earlier than expected, or if a car hits the wall or gets loose in a corner, it will definitely shake up the field. Oh, big move there. That is, I believe, the 5 of Red Stone going to the inside.
Yeah, dropped out from the high line and right down below. So now these drivers haven't, they went in, some of these drivers went in, topped off with fuel, but all of these drivers are running on the same tire that they started with, that they qualified with. Now with that good run of 9 or so laps, those tires came up to temp. They cooled off on that caution, and now right now they're back up, so they definitely temperature cycled. So we're beginning to see, and these drivers are beginning to feel that tire's grip going away, and it will, well, right now around 20 laps, they're going to see that grip is not like it was when they started, for sure.
Exactly. I mean, you just had 5 different drivers run their fastest lap of the race that last time by. So we'll see what happens as we have a battle side by side. Chad Jones, Jeff Narron. Oh, car into the wall. I believe that was Greg Stone, or was that? Couldn't tell who that was. That was a 50, I believe, Justin Lewis.
Yeah, this is a battle for the lead between Jeff Narron in 27 and Chad Jones to the inside in the 70. It's Kaiju Cat versus Southern E Motorsports for the lead here at lap 20.
And there comes the 3 of Luke Bullard, just kind of lingering there, waiting. Probably going to pounce here, going to go to the high side, I would imagine, trying to follow that 27 car. And we are seeing it now. The lap times are starting to slow down. 0.5 of a second was the difference there between the leader's fastest lap and their last lap. Some drivers only 0.4 of a second slower that time by. Definitely draft influencing that. But like you said, the tires are going to start going away at this point. You're going to kind of figure out where your car stands.
Just
how hard you've driven it.
Change in the lead. Jeff Nairn out front and now battling with Luke Bullard. Luke Bullard, his teammate, now leads that lap. And so I think both drivers from Southern E Motorsports have led a lap here tonight. And that battle is now continuing with the 70 of Chad Jones now battling back to take back that lead.
And you're seeing right now 4 cars on the high line, 2 cars on the bottom line, and that's definitely going to influence how each line works. And so you see Luke Bullard kind of mitigating that. He may give way to the 27 in the high line, or might just stay up there and get a draft, but you can tell those 3 cars are definitely moving up past the 70. And that's what I was talking about. The draft is very influential here, especially if you can get nose to tail with a teammate. Keeps that 3 car out front, solidifies the 27 in second place.
Huge battle at the front, though, between Bullard, Nairn, Jones. Don't count out Justin Lewis right there as well. And then here comes Greg Stone in the 6th position. We've got a number of new drivers here in the league as they joined later. Probably anticipation for what's coming next season. Season 6 for the T4T Troops Cup Series is going to be a mirror image of the NASCAR series. So what you see on Sunday, you'll see on Wednesday and Thursday here on the IWM Broadcast Network.
I wonder when the attrition will set in that season, because typically we have, basically half that, or a little bit more than half. But with a full 36 race season, we'll see who actually, with more races, who can prevail, who could be the champ. So definitely stay tuned for that.
Yeah, there's lots of discussions to be had. I think there were some discussions about charter seasons and charter positions. So all good things to come. So
you sound like NASCAR more and more every day.
Don't want to sound too much like NASCAR. I'll have Denny Hamlin giving me a call. So
yeah, you don't want Denny Hamlin and MJ calling you up. Definitely not a battle I'd like to fight. But a battle right now for 5th place, 3 wide there. You see the 70, the 72. You have Chris Farrell battling right there as well, all for 5th place. And while these biggest movers are kind of influenced by that last pit stop. Oh, big contact there in the back. Not sure who that was. Not really sure who that was. We're talking about biggest movers. Technically, your biggest mover of the race has been Sammy Harrell, up 14 spots, battling side by side with Ty Bostic. So, same thing with Dustin Coggin there, up 14 spots as well.
Sammy Harrell plus 15.
Now he is, yep.
There's a lot of action going on towards the back of the field.
Brandon Brown, Sammy Harrell, Ty Bostic, all right there. Zach Ward.
28 laps in. So you're thinking, John, we should begin to see that first round of drivers with pit stops somewhere around lap 40?
I would suspect 40. Yep, that's what my calculations are saying. 40 laps. Now, we did have 3 laps under caution. If I were these drivers, I'd be saving as much fuel as I could. Like, as soon as that caution came out, clutch it out, let it coast for as long as it can and coast under caution.
We are 3 wide here in the back, keeping an eye on Jeff Denis, John Ledger right there. They're 3 wide with the 2 of Todd Merkel up high.
Oh, the 40 pushed up a little bit. 19 had to give. That was John Ledger and Jeff Denis.
Yeah, these cars are super loose. These are 30 laps in, tires.
It's super loose until you suck up right behind a car in front of you and you become extremely aero tight. And that's what you see a lot of times with cars that are even side by side. We saw it this past weekend at Las Vegas in the Cup Series with Truex getting tight. When you get alongside of two other cars or get right behind a car, it just absolutely destroys the air, and you become and your car becomes extremely tight, which means you can't turn. So it's definitely not a good feeling to have. But Rick, look at this. We have a 3-car breakaway, about a 1.5 second gap between the leader and the 27 of Jeff Narron and P4. Got a 3-car battle there. You have Justin Lewis of Lewis Motorsports, Chris Howell of Average Joe, and then Luke Bullard, Southern E Motorsports, pulling away using the draft.
Going a little bit farther back, this pack here has kind of split themselves apart. That's Narron, Jones, Stone, Worrell, and Max Caldwell. And the 72 of Jeremy Flanagan. Greg Stone, this is a second or third time we've keyed in on that 5. He definitely chooses to, his run, he tends to run that high line, then drop down to that low line and snap it back. I'm not sure how long he can continue to do that, not lose that car.
It's a tightrope that he's walking, but it works. It's working so far, so we'll see.
All right, 33 laps in the books here at Chicago, and we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back, but we'll go side by side. You won't miss a thing. We'll be right back, and thanks for tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network.
Hello, my name is Jack Raymondson. I manage business development here at Tech for Troops, and I'm my second year with this amazing veteran nonprofit owned and operated by veterans for veterans. I served in the U.S. Marine Corps as an amphibious assault crewman from 1992 to 1996. I also served in the U.S. Coast Guard from 2002 to 2007, joining after 9/11 as an operations specialist, then serving as an instructor at Coast Guard Training Center, Yorktown. I also spent many years as a first responder volunteering as an EMT and fireman. I'm here at Tech for Troops because I believe in our mission to empower veterans and their families with the gift of computers and technology training, as well as our outreach to help curb veteran suicide while providing a safe and meaningful community where veterans are treated with respect and dignity. We are aiming for zero veteran suicide through gaming and other program opportunities. We help veterans regain a new sense of purpose and help them see they have a brighter future ahead of them. It truly is an honor and my pleasure to serve my fellow veterans and help give them a leg up. 2024 is Tech for Troops' 10th anniversary year, and I ask that you help us support our veterans and their families with a computer donation and or greatly needed financial contribution so we can help every last veteran in need. Together, you and Tech for Troops can be change makers. Thank you.
All right, we're back. All right, welcome back to the IWM Broadcast Network of the Tech for Troops Cup Series. You saw that little bug come up there. If you take the opportunity, if you could, to like and subscribe to our channel, you'll be notified when there are opportunities for new racing to come in to join us and watch our broadcast. So we appreciate those of you who have and have made and helped us to grow this channel for what it is. So thanks again, and we appreciate you.
Absolutely. What we also appreciate is a day to night race transition. I love it. It's fun. The only track that I don't like it at is Darlington. It's miserable, especially with the sun coming out of the backstretch. So
Chad Jones is coming down onto pit road.
Lap 38.
Yeah, first taker.
First taker. He did not come down pit road with those 17 other cars that came down on lap 10. But yeah, we're looking at that beautiful sunset right there, setting in turn 3.
Justin Lewis has really been putting in some good laps here.
Yep, but we got Christopher Howell coming down pit road. You got Luke Bullard as well. And more to follow. Lap 39. So the fuel run might actually be a little bit shorter. It might be about 37 to 38 laps.
Howell, Bullard, Narron, Ward, and Flanagan all on pit road for their first stop of the day.
Which, let's say it is, let's say 38. 38. That definitely is going to get you only to 76 plus another 38. That only gets you to 114. You're 11 laps short there. So I'm curious to see how this is going to play out, because those drivers who came down pit road are in prime position for a 2-stop where all the other drivers have to do 3.
Another round, got Lewis, Worrell, Stone, Ledger, Brandon Brown, and Jeff Nene all on pit road for their stop. So here we are at lap 40. These drivers will get their stop in. They'll get their set of tires. They'll go back out. Another, let's just say we just do simple math, 40, 40. You know, you may have to really stretch this set of tires.
You do. Good. It's like we got a black flag for Greg Stone. Unfortunate there.
All right, that puts Sammy Harrell out in front. He is running those white rims on that 43.
Look good. And Rick, I'm looking here at the tower. We have 2 cars that have not come down pit road yet from that original group that did not come down into the first caution. James Lowe, who's making his way down pit road right now, and Lilith Peters. They both ran 41, technically 42 laps because they have to get back to pit road. So you can run above 40. You could run 42 with a caution, which tells me you could probably run exactly 40 laps. So I think those drivers that came down on lap 38, 39 are going to be really pushing it. And everybody that is in the current top 16, Harrell, Slatker, Van Scoik, Johnson, all the way down, I think they're going to be in pretty good shape to make it only on 2 more stops. Or excuse me, 1 more stop. Well, 2 stops actually.
Yeah. All right, 43 laps in the books as we head towards 125 in tonight's event. Our next round of pit stops should be coming in with those drivers who pitted last on lap 10. See a number of drivers who are doing something interesting, John. They're coming in now, probably a little early, but still enough if they choose to split this up a little bit differently.
Yeah, I like the move, because if you go 40 laps, I mean, think about it. You pit on lap 44, you pit again on lap 84, you should be able to make it to the end of the race. I like pushing it a little bit more for one reason and one reason only. If we get a green-white checker, I want to have fuel at the end of the race.
Yep.
So I don't have to get cycled all the way to the back. But I think it's a smart call. I mean, split it up 40 and 40 for the last 2 segments of this race.
Dustin Coggin has come in. You got Mike Slaughter, Marco Berube, both on pit road. But yeah, I'm thinking if I did come in at lap 10, got fuel, didn't hurt me, I'm out here now. I think coming in at lap 48 would probably be a good thing to do.
Yep, 48 for sure. And looking at the lap times here, there is going to be a delta. I mean, you have basically a 1 second difference between the leaders' fastest lap and John Ledger, who actually just ran the fastest lap of the race at 30.7. So you do have that fall off. But again, when these drivers actually decide to come down pit road, that delta will almost flip a little bit, where those drivers who will come down on pit road sometime soon, they'll have the advantage, especially on the back end of a run. Or kind of middle to back end. So it's all going to shape out. We got a big group of cars right here, though. Chris Farrell, I think that's 71 as well. You have Wyatt Gray. You have the 3.
Yeah, they're all
Bullard,
chasing
Chris
down.
Farrell.
They're running down the leaders right now, trying to unlap themselves. They're on much faster. They're much faster with new tires.
Yeah, you can see the speed difference. Look at Sammy Harrell there. And the 3, I mean, this is treacherous for these playoff drivers trying to battle up through here, trying to make all the spots up that they can. But it looks like they all were able to navigate.
Good.
I'll leave it at that. Not saying anything else. we know about some curses here, so we're going to... Nope. Changing subjects, because I just saw that car get a little squirrely. We were almost halfway through.
We are 3 wide here. Saw the 47 and the 4 tapped him in the back. There's contact there.
Yeah, the 47 was trying to come down pit road. He is now sliding through the infield. That's a penalty right there. Austin Call is going to have a legal pit road entry penalty. And I think it was because he got ran into from behind. He got hit by the 70. I don't know if they didn't call it out or whatnot, but I saw right here the 47. I mean, just breaks in front of the 70. Somebody had nowhere to go.
He tried to get back in. There's that contact.
It looks like the black flag was cleared by race control.
All right. We're beginning to see that those drivers are pitted last on lap 10, making their way down. Van Scoik, Harrell, Vandertwick, and Aaron Jackson. That puts the 71 of Wyatt Gray out in front. And now he's making his time. Oh, the 98 of Christoph Hall dirt tracked it onto pit road. Big group of guys.
Yep, a lot of drivers making their way down pit road right now.
Hall, Gray, Cook, Merkel, Scotty Grove, and Aiden Lucas now all on pit road.
And what this is going to do, will this cycle? Yeah, this should cycle, I think, Christopher Howell to the lead.
Yeah, because remember, they made up their lap about a lap and a half ago. They unlapped themselves. Now this is going to put these guys, I don't actually know how this is going to put them all out.
They're going to be about a half a lap back, maybe a little bit more than that.
Keeping our eye on the 55 of Scotty Grove. Just completed his pit stop. He's trying to make his way back up on the track. Puts him at the tail end of the pack, coming back in around 28th.
Looks like we got a 98 car black flag. Christoph Hall leading.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. If you remember back when he came down pit road sideways. All right, so that puts Christopher Howell, Luke Bullard, Chris Morrell, and Justin Lewis up at the front. His 4-car pack just bring up that gap between these guys. They're about almost a 3 1/4 second gap between themselves and Max Caldwell in that next group. All right, Brandon Brown finds himself the last car on the lead lap. He's got no help back there. He's by himself, unfortunately, and he's got the leaders that are about to run him down.
Yeah, they're coming fast. They're going to be very quick. As we're now looking at some of these lap times. So looking at some of the drivers who came down on lap 38, their last lap was a 31.13. Drivers who came down pit road on lap 49 or 50, their last lap was a 30.9. So not too far off, but I'm curious.
Brandon Brown's last lap, he is with a 31.31. So he is a 1/4 second off the leaders.
Well, Rick, one of my keys was green flag stops, and we've already seen a set of those. So very curious to see how this strategy is going to play out for these two groups of cars.
Just looking through the actual time in the box, pit stop wise, pretty impressive stops by Justin Lewis. That was a 14.4. Chris Worrell, 14.45. Those are fast stops.
Yeah, I mean that's great. Everybody else is in 14.8s, 14.9s, 15 flats. So
yeah, yep.
Pit work for pit road crew doing their jobs.
All right, coming up soon to the halfway point here at Chicagoland. Great racing so far. Christopher Howell out in front. Good to see that 88 out on the top of the podium.
Yeah, he haven't said this in a while, and he's not on it anymore. But Christopher Howell on the prowl to get a win here in the T4T Cup Series. Good to see him back out front. Followed behind him, Luke Bullard there. 3-car Southern New Motorsports. Justin Lewis battling right there in that orange and black car. And third with Chris Farrell, Maxwell Caldwell rounding out your current top 5. There's the 94. And all the way to the high side, that is the 7. Zach Ward. He's got a lot of cars behind him, though. All battling for position. Jeff Nairn, John Ledger, Mike Slatker, and Andrew Pileshi. That is your current top 10.
James Lowe finds himself just outside of the top 10. He's got there with Ty Bostic, a little farther back, Jeremy Flanagan. The 70 of Chad Jones is right there. Garrett Johnston, the 15. That's the top, that's 15. Cody Sturgill finds himself in 16, but good for Cody in that 64. He is plus 11.
Good for him.
Yeah. Dustin Coggins a bit farther back. He's in 20th, but he's picked up 13 spots from his qualifying position. So as this field begins to stretch itself out, we're still focusing on this. I think this is the that group up in battling for 7th, 8th, and 9th up there is such a competitive group right now.
It really is. It's a fierce battle as these cars are starting to get affected by the draft.
Yeah, almost all. This is actually an interesting mix because you've got Mike Slaughter. He came in at lap 44, so he's got about 5 lap better tires than the rest of the guys in that group.
Interesting.
When we look at it, we've got keeping track around lap 78 or so. So that's not that far away when we'll see that next round of green flag stops. Mike Slaughter is in that 14 blue and yellow Lucas car. John Ledger finds himself plus 9 spots. He is up to 8th position. Mike Slaughter up 10 spots. I'm sorry,
wow.
13 spots. So he's doing well. And you can't forget the fact that your leader, Chris Howell, he's up 12. So a lot of good movers today. Garrett Johnson, I think, gets the award for the best mover so far. He is plus 23. He started back in 35th position.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's a heck of a climb there, and we are just over halfway through tonight's race here in the T4T Cup Series, and you can see the sun is starting to fall even more, and the second half of this race will be under the lights here as they just started coming on here at Chicagoland.
All right, back up front. This battle continues. Christopher Howell still out front. Justin Lewis is in second. Of course, unfortunately, they have now caught up to the bumper of the last car on the lead lap. That is Brandon Brown.
Yep. Not the run he was particularly wanting, but still there, as you see the 50 go around the 88 for the lead. That is Justin Lewis now taking the lead here at Chicagoland, trying to get around Brandon Brown, while Brandon Brown's trying to keep his lap, stay on the lead lap. He's actually on the same cycle as all these cars, so it's fair game for him to fight.
Yeah, absolutely. You should definitely not give up. He's running a slightly different line, leveraging that high line. As these drivers make his way around. Yep. Side-by-side battle. Christopher Howell, Justin Lewis here. Luke Bullard makes his way around Brandon Brown, keep that group together. Got a couple drivers just farther back there. I think that's Chris Worrell and Max Caldwell trying to catch this group. See these drivers continue to leverage that apron.
Which is what you have to do here. I mean, it definitely upsets the car just a little bit, but you know, you pick up speed, and going faster is obviously not the most. It's not the easiest thing to do. You're gonna have to get your car a little bit upset to see where that limit is, and going down to the bottom can definitely help you.
So these 4 cars are looking, our guess is around 9 laps from now. We expect to see them on pit road for their second round. Again, these drivers only have 3 sets of tires. The one they qualified on and started with, and then 2 more. They've used up 1 in that last round of pit stops. They're going to use this next one coming up. And they'll only have 45, they will have 45 laps to go, so it's going to be a little sketchy.
A little sketchy is right, as we see the 88 alongside now the 50 machine. Oh, maybe some contact, maybe not. Oh,
It's close.
here comes the 3.
He could play a little bit of a spoiler here, but no, he wants to go 3 wide.
And takes, well, he got a little tight coming out of the corner. The 50 is going to have to run out of turn 4. 3 blocks the 88's run. 3 doesn't block the move to the high side from the 88. We got a fun little battle on our hands.
Zach Ward is on pit road. Good battle up front with Lewis, Bullard, and Howell. Door to door and side by side here as they try to catch. Of course, that's not going to help either of those guys. That kind of allowed Justin Lewis to pull a bit farther ahead as they battle door to door. We do have a number of drivers on pit road. James Lowe, Jeff Nairn, both on pit road.
Oh, 27, Jeff Nairn just got caught by the pit road police speeding.
That's unfortunate. He will be held in the pits. All right, 74 laps in the books.
Yep, nightfall is almost upon us. And if you look at the track map on the top right-hand corner of your screen, you can see this entire field is all over Chicagoland right now. You have the differentiating strategies. You have Christopher Howell coming down pit road. And that's what happens when you get into these green flag stops. Everybody spreads out.
John Ledger also on pit road. Jeremy Flanagan, Dustin Coggin, Chad Jones. As you mentioned, Chris Howell all on pit road. So slightly earlier, but maybe that's more in line with what we thought before.
Yeah, that would be about 36. Oh, caution! Caution
Caution's out.
Chris Farrell.
Brandon Brown involved.
Oh, boy. Well, that just changes the whole race.
Yep.
Because they can't make it to the end. Oh, boy.
Not sure what happened to Brandon. Let's go back and take a look.
What did we have to dissect here?
All right, let's see what we see. Gee, Luke Bullard coming down pit road. Brandon Brown just decided to not come down. Not sure. Let's go
I-
back and
Yeah, it looked like he kind of got loose and overcorrected. I thought the 06 was involved. Yeah, he got upset and he corrected it.
he might have to talk to his painter on that car. Definitely has some issues with that paint.
Yeah, it looks like he has an overlay on it. But that's our second caution of the night, and everybody's on pit road. Well, almost everybody.
Caldwell, Paleshi, Lewis up front, all on pit road. Here comes Scotty Grove. All right, that's going to certainly change everything. I don't know why. Correct me if I'm wrong. That both Sammy Harrell and Chuck stayed out. They probably didn't need to come in if you just assume that they could have come down. Well, you know what? I take that back. I know why.
Oh, I know exactly why. I was about to say I know exactly why they didn't come down pit road.
I just realized they stopped last on lap 49. They had no reason to come down.
No, and they will be in prime position to make it to the end while everybody else has to come down pit road at the end of the stint.
Yeah, their only trouble is that they're going to be out in front, positions 1 and 2 by themselves with 30-lap-old tires.
Yeah, it's not going to be fun. You know, they never said taking risks were going to always be fun. But I like the move because we just surpassed lap 78. We'll go back green probably on lap 80. If they can just manage for 5 laps, which is a lot, but if they can manage for 5 laps, they should be able to come down pit road on about lap 85 and make it to the end while everybody else is going to have to come down pit road and deal with 40-lap-old tires as well on the back end of a stint while they're trying to make up speed. So I'm very curious to see how this is going to play out because nobody from our calculations can make it, but the 43 and the 23 are in prime position to run away with the strategy. And this is not the only time. I mean, Rick, we always talk about the GOAT Racing guys with their fuel strategy. They always seem to do well.
They do. Yep. Surprises us week after week. They've always figured out a way to come back. So
yeah, we'll see. So by my calculations, they technically don't have to come down pit road for another 10 laps. I don't think they push it that long. I think they do it right at 40 laps to go, which would be here at about 7 laps. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think they could actually stay out a little bit longer just to, play it out. But we'll see again with just 79 laps in the books, 125 laps, leaving us just around 45. Maybe after we get going, 44 laps to go. All it's going to take is one stop for them. Now, those other guys, they may wind up trying to save fuel and dog paddle for a while. I'm not sure how that's going to work out. But we're about ready to go back to racing. All this will magically reveal itself over the next 45 laps. So Sammy Harrell will be our control car. It looks like he has elected to take the outside line. Charles Van Scoik is on the inside line. Those two drivers did not pit, and they will have on their tail no other than Chris Worrell and Luke Bullard.
Yeah, it's not gonna be fun for these drivers. Let me just tell you that right now. They're gonna have to survive this for another 5 laps or so. So we'll see how they do. Green flag in the air. Sammy Harrell gets off to a decent start. Chuck Van Scoik is now getting moved to the 3rd spot due to Chris Worrell taking the high line. And we'll see how long they can stay up here. I mean, with them cycling through the tires, I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a long time, although Sammy Harrell's doing a good job staying out in front, but you can already see the 06 3 the 50, running them down.
Yeah, well, the 23 still, I think what they're going to have is they're saving grace as the draft, especially in turn 3, or especially on the front stretch, and especially on the back stretch. They'll have the benefit of that. So if they can stay within the top 5 to top 10, they're in really decent shape. And if these guys keep on racing up front, that just pulls everybody back. And that's the thing, is this pack is going to keep.
Thought I saw the 06 tag the wall.
I think he did. Brought the 3 to the high side, brought the 50 to the low. They're still there. There's Sammy and Chris in 4th, and they're 5th and 7th right now on the bottom side. They're still hanging in there, Cars getting a little tight, but they're still there.
Cars are working their way around them a bit. They are deep in traffic right now.
They are, as Chris Farrell is now taking the lead. See some blocks being put on by Chuck right there, trying to stay in that bottom line. Falling back to 9th and 11th. Lap 84. I'm curious when they're going to come down pit road. They got some help behind them. That's Philip Vandertwick there on the 48. That's going to help them on the bottom side. Car almost spinning out in the back.
That's lap 85. And we'll see what time or when they actually make their move down onto pit road. But back up front, Justin Lewis is sliding up under the 06 of Chris Farrell, trying to take back that lead.
This is a huge pack up here. It's a pack of about 8 cars. 8 or 9 cars all battling for the lead. See Mike Slapter there.
Yep. Wyatt Gray, let's go back and current tower view. Lewis, Farrell, Bullard, Slagter, Wyatt Gray, Andrew Pileshi, Cody Sturgill, Max Caldwell, Ty Bostic, and Lilith Peters. That's your top 10. Well, thanks for tuning in to tonight's race here at Chicagoland. We've had some great racing so far, and I'm sure that the latter 40 or so laps will be as exciting as the 87 we've witnessed so far.
It definitely will be. And one thing I liked about this run from the 43 and the 23, even though they're falling back in the field, Rick, they're still running faster than other drivers would be on 40-lap old tires. You know what I mean? Because they're in the draft.
Absolutely.
So they are effectively actually gaining now versus, losing time on the back end, because when you run 20 some odd laps on your tires, 30 some odd laps, you're running 31.5s, 31.6s. They just both ran 31.3s.
That's some great times. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll go side by side. You won't miss anything here at the IWM Broadcast Network.
Hi, America. Mark Castro, President of Tech for Troops. I wanted to take a moment to say thank you for making 2023 such an amazing year. We completed our mission, and it feels good to have another successful year behind us. But I want to tell you, this year, 2024, is our 10th anniversary. 10 years of doing this mission, and you have been so supportive of us. So I want to take a moment to say, please continue to support us. We're going to have an event or more every month. Please stay tuned in our calendar. Please stay tuned on our social media. Join us in the celebration of our mission and what we do. And we look forward to seeing you and having your support for our mission of ending veteran homelessness through bridging the technology divide. Look forward to seeing you. Thank you so much.
All right, welcome back. We've got those two GOAT Racing drivers on pit road, Chuck Van Scoik and Semi Harrell. But unfortunately, we believe that there may be a penalty involved for one of those drivers. I think Chuck Van Scoik is being held for speeding on pit road.
Yep, he is. That's going to ruin that strategy just a little bit, but I still like it. I mean, they're sitting in the catbird seat, or he, as in the 43, is sitting in the catbird seat right now to presume this lead once everybody else comes down pit road here, probably in the next 20 some odd laps. So we'll see how it all plays out. But right out front, Justin Lewis currently pulling away from this field.
And just this battling here between the 06, the 71 of Wyatt Gray, and the 3 of Luke Bullard. Don't count out Mike Slaughter; he's back there as well. But these guys have been, knocking doors here.
Yeah, they've been going all out. I mean, this battle between the 3, the 06, the 71, contact with the wall. It's been one of the fiercest battles we've seen tonight, and possibly, the later half of this regular season. So very, very tight, solid racing here tonight. Nobody pushing the limit, but definitely some very hard fought racing.
Just as a point of reference, besides Luke Bullard, who has a respectable 2,600 plus I rating, everybody else in the top 5 is 4,300, 4,400, 4,500, 4,800. So some good quality experienced drivers battling up in front.
And it shows. And there's a reason why their I rating is so high. If you don't know what I rating is, it's basically a point system from 0 all the way up to 10,000. There are some drivers who are over 10,000. And effectively what it is every time you race in an official race here on iRacing, you are getting calculated based off of, and you're getting points towards your I rating based on how you finish comparatively to other drivers. Oftentimes it's correlated to your number. So if you're number 15 out of 30, you are right in the middle, typically. And the field expects you to basically finish 15th based on your I rating. So let's say you finish higher than 15. Let's say you finish 10th, your I rating will go up. Let's say you finish 20th, your I rating will go down. So drivers who have I ratings of 3, 4, 5, 6,000, they're consistently finishing up in the front, and that's why you see oftentimes higher I rating drivers are typically up near the front, because that is how the scoring system is, and that's just how where their skills align. It's really cool to see. I love the system.
Todd Merkle cracks the top 10. He's now finding himself currently in 10th. He's up 14 spots. The big mover, as we talked about before, Cody Sturgill, he's up 20 spots in 7th. Ty Bostic plus 15. But all this is going to change soon enough, because these guys came in at lap 75. That puts them around lap 115, where they're all going to need to come back down before the end of this race. Now, they don't have to wait to lap 115. They could come down sooner.
And I wonder what the benefit of that would be. You're in the draft right now. You don't want to lose that. You're running faster laps than you normally would. But again, is there going to be a
You're going to need, you can't take tires. You're out of tires.
Yeah.
You need fuel. So I'm thinking, they could come down now. Any of these drivers could come down now, top it off. They're good to go.
Yeah, I'm kind of right there with you. Kind of make your tires go through 2 different cycles. You'll probably actually save a little bit of tire by splitting it up, because you're not. It'll go through a cool just a little bit, and then heat back up, and it won't be as drastic. And here's the thing. Doing that now comparatively to doing that at the end of the race is you're going to have less pressure under you doing that now. So I feel like the pressure on 50 lap old tires at the end of the race, you're more likely to make a mistake. So we'll see what happens, because these drivers all still have to come down pit road. Now, taking a look at Mr. Sammy Harrell, he is currently in the middle of turn 3 and turn 4. He's about half a lap back he's in turn 1 and turn 2. So he is just about half a lap back from the leaders.
So a number of drivers
coming in,
yeah, they may be listening to the broadcast. I don't know. Could be.
They might. I mean, I don't see any. It might as well take a shot now to come down pit road. But Sammy Harrell, I mean, he's really. Let's see, where is he positioned? He's all the way back in 27th.
A lap down.
1 lap down.
Yep.
Yeah, but it should cycle through. Now, where he cycles through, I don't know. But what would hurt him is if there's a big pack and you run faster in a pack, obviously. So
Yep.
if they all pit together, then everybody else comes out as a pack and they all, race that way, his race is effectively shot. But if everybody splits up, which I believe they will, which they have been, you'll see Sammy Harrell might go to the front.
All right, 24 laps to go. Everybody has to come down. Luke Bullard is making his way down onto pit road. Also pitting slightly early, but really it's not even early. They've all got a pit. If you're Justin Lewis, John, you're got over 2 seconds of a gap between yourself and your nearest competitor. Do you take this opportunity?
It's tough. I mean, if you're out front, I mean, you're kind of, you don't have to worry about tires. It's just purely fuel. He's been gapping the field. The only thing I'd be worried about is drivers pitting together, coming out together, and having a faster run because they are now drafting on the straightaways and on the front stretch. But other than that, I don't know. I mean, right now, really quick, just to put it into perspective, he comes down pit road. Here comes a slew of other drivers, and I'm going to pay attention to black flags. Todd Merkel just got a black flag. Chris Farrell speeding. Rick. Chris Farrell, 06 with the penalty.
Oh, hey, John, we've got 3 sets of tires. So these guys all have a set of tires still.
Oh, so we were misunderstood? Okay, well then that changes everything. That changes the entire strategy.
Well, the only reason I say that is because Ty Bostic came down. I'm sorry, Luke Bullard came down and had a full 15-second stop on his third pit stop.
Got
so
it.
I'm assuming there must be 1 on the car and 3 in the pit.
3 in the pits. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Heck, it'd be fun to run only 2 sets of tires and see what would happen. But yeah, that definitely changes things quite a bit, because now you have these drivers, specifically Sammy Harrell, who came down pit road last on 89.
I'm thinking
still behind the leader.
I think Justin Lewis came down, took fuel and right sides only.
Yeah, because he is currently about, let's see, as the field updates, we're getting a lot of data updating here.
He is sitting in, he just unlapped himself. As the field begins to cycle.
Yep. Yeah, we got a lot of field cycling going through right now, so we'll see.
So Max Caldwell finds himself up at the front. Justin Lewis at this time he's the first car 1 lap down.
First car 1 lap down, and it looks like he's right behind Wyatt Gray, who came down 4 laps earlier.
He just unlapped himself.
Yep. And Justin Lewis just ran the fastest lap of the race at 30.620.
Jeez. So with all this, where is Sammy Harrell? He's back in 16th, still a lap down.
Yep, still a lap down, but he's got the draft of the 3. So Max Caldwell still needs to pit.
As does Garrett Johnson and Lilith Peters. James Lowe, Dustin Coggin all need to pit. A lot of guys still off cycle. They can go to around lap 104, which is...
It's past 104. It's lap 109 right now.
9. So they're due.
Yeah, they're due here very soon in the next 5 laps, I would imagine.
All right, we're going to take our last commercial break. We'll get that in before we wind up with the last 15 or so laps here. We'll be right back again, side by side. You won't miss a thing.
Are you looking for a way to safely and securely dispose of your old electronic devices? Why not donate them to Tech for Troops? Tech for Troops is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to bridging the technology gap for in-need veterans and their families. The donation process is quick and easy. Simply go to techfortroops.org and click on the donate link at the top right-hand side of the page. Scroll down to access the Give Back Box link. To create your shipping label, click Add to Cart and complete the checkout process. The shipping label is good for up to 50 pounds. You can recycle most standard shipping boxes to send in your devices. Oh, don't forget the power cords. Give new life to your old technology by responsibly recycling with Tech for Troops. Help save the environment and support a veteran.
All right, welcome back. We are 13 laps to go here at the Tech for Troops Cup Series event at Chicagoland. Max Caldwell out in front right now, but Max needs to pit, as does Garrett Johnson and Lilith Peters. They pitted last on lap 76.
James Lowe, Dustin Coggin coming down pit road.
I think those guys are just, I think Maxwell Caldwell, Garrett Johnson, and Lilith Peters are just basically hanging out, hoping for a caution.
Absolutely. That's the only thing that they're hoping for right now. And if green flag stops, it might happen, but you never know. Somebody could have an incident getting on the pit road. We saw that with Brown, but you never know. It's very treacherous, especially with all these drivers moving all over the place. But right now, the provisional leader will be Justin Lewis, who is currently sitting in third.
The 81 of William Corinne has made it back out on the track. He was in the pits for 48 minutes getting repairs on that car from that earlier incident.
Points are points.
Points are points. He's back underway. All right, Maxwell Caldwell is out in front in the 94, but again, we're expecting him anytime onto pit road. Sammy Harrell now finds himself up to 13th.
Here comes the 94.
Yep, as well as the 15 of Garrett Johnston. So Lilith Peters is out in front, and now she is on pit road.
Yeah, they were definitely playing the long game, and hopefully it was going to work out, but they are going to be cycled deep into this field as the provisional leader comes out of turn 4, going to cross the start-finish line now, the 50, Justin Lewis.
All right, Wyatt Gray shows up in second. Ty Bostic in third. Cody Sturgill up to fourth. Andrew Pileshi also up there in fifth. Mike Slogder in sixth. Luke Bullard in seventh. Ryan D. Cook, Zach Ward, and Max Caldwell comes back out, finds himself in 10th. With that cycle, we've got 19 cars currently on the lead lap.
19 cars on the lead lap. Nobody needs to pit. Penalties are done. We got 8 laps to go, and the race is on.
Bringing up the current gap between these drivers.
It stayed pretty steady, Rick. It's been about 7/10 of a second for like the last 6 or 8 laps.
Yeah, Wyatt Gray, though, he's right there. He's got about a half a second behind. He's in that red 71 behind the 50 of Justin Lewis.
And he's getting some help from the 27. For sure, 27 is actually almost pushing him a little bit out of the corners. Very reminiscent of what we saw with the 12 and the 22 at Las Vegas this past week. But they are not teammates. I don't believe
They are not.
assume.
They are not. In fact, I'm just kind of looking back, looking for Wyatt Gray. I do not currently see him in the Discord, so I'm assuming. Yep, I'm
last
assuming
time-
he's in another channel. So
Yeah. With 5 to go, that last time by, Wyatt Gray was 4 thousandths of a second faster. 4 thousandths of a second isn't going to cut it. The gap is now 8/10 of a second. He does have 4 lap older tires than Justin Lewis.
it's going to be super hard to make any ground. Pretty much, they were pretty much both running 31:20s that time by. Justin Lewis ran a 30.94. So I think at this point, with these laps to go, it's take the podium finish. Good event, good showing here at Chicagoland for Wyatt Gray. Good
We do
showing
have
for
a
Ty
big battle
Bostic.
Yeah, we got a battle for 3rd and 4th right now, side by side. As they battle out of the corner, you can see him right there. Ty Bostic trying to get on the podium. Battling with Andrew Pileshi with now 3 laps to go. Wyatt Gray also, let's talk about this. Biggest movers of the race. Garrett Johnson up 24 spots in P11. Cody Sturgill up 22 spots in P5. Wyatt Gray up 20 spots in 2nd place. And Philip Vandertwig up 18 spots in the 14th position.
Yeah, don't say the fact that Bostic plus 19, Cody Sturgill 22.
Yeah, pretty good stuff from those guys.
Well, they were side by side. Looks like the 22 of Ty Bostic is kind of giving up the ghost here on the 91. But we'll go back to the 50, who is now with just 2 laps to go, well positioned to take this win here in Chicagoland.
Absolutely he is. White flag in the air. Last lap here for tonight's Tech for Troop Cup Series race at Chicagoland, the second to last race before we reach the playoffs. And Rick, if I'm not mistaken, Justin Lewis wins this race. Will he be locked in?
I don't think so. I'm not sure how many races he's won. I'll have to bring up.
I'm not sure, but he just won here at Chicagoland. Wyatt Gray comes home in 2nd, and Andrew Pileshi comes home in 3rd.
Taking a quick look at the points with Justin Lewis.
What a race. What a run by that number 50 car, Justin Lewis out of Lewis Motorsports. Incredible run.
All right. I'm not sure if the results are in. Let's take a look. Let's bring up our results.
Alrighty, let's do it.
We're trying.
There we go. Bringing home the win in tonight's Tech Cup Series race, second to last race before the playoffs. Justin Lewis with Wyatt Gray coming home in second. Andrew Pleshy coming home in third. And don't turn away from your phone, your screen, your computer, your TV, wherever you're watching this. We're going to interview all three of those drivers, your podium finishers, here very shortly after we run through the finishing order. Ty Bostic comes home in fourth, with Cody Sturgill coming home in fifth. Mike Slatker finishes in sixth. Maxwell Caldwell finishes in seventh. Luke Bullard, Garrett Johnston, and Scotty Grove round out your 8th, 9th, and 10th place.
Zach Ward, great finish, finishes in 11th. Christopher Howell in 12th. Ryan D. Cook in 13th, and Phil Vandertwick in 14th. Aiden Lewis in 15th, and Lilith Peters in 16th. Sammy Harrell's Gamble got him a 17th position. 18th is Marco Berube. 19th is Aaron Jackson, and 20th is James Lowe.
In 21st, you have Chris Farrell. Tough finish for him with that pit road speeding penalty. John Ledger finishes in 22nd. Brandon Brown finishes in 23rd. Jeremy Flanagan finishes in 24th. Greg Stone finishes in the 25th position, with Chad Jones finishing in 26th. 27th goes to Todd Merkel. 28th goes to Dustin Coggin, with Chuck Van Scoyk and Christoph Hall finishing in 29th and 30th.
In 31st, Jeff Nairn. 32nd is Jeff Nanede. 33rd, Austin Call. William Corinne in 34th, and Dalton Shy in 35th. All right, that's our finishing here at Chicagoland, with Justin Lewis grabbing that win. Let's see if we can locate Andrew Pileshi here. See if we can locate Andrew. Second. Here he is.
Oh,
all right.
shit.
Okay, congratulations, Andrew, on your third place finish.
Thanks. I wasn't expecting to move there.
Well, here you are.
Yeah, it's good to be here. Uh-huh.
Well, good finish here at Chicagoland. This looks like it was a pretty good race for you.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. This is a good track. This is actually the first time I've ever driven the next gen here. I haven't raced here probably since like the old Gen 6 days, probably like 2017 or something like that. So, a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. So good, definitely some good competition. We saw you and Ty Bostic battling at the end there. Till at some point you clearly took the position and made it yours for the end of the race. Any thoughts again about Chicago or tonight's event?
Yeah, it was a really good race. It was a good battle there at the end. Try to get through some of them guys. I don't know. Both Bostic and who was he? The 64.
Cody Sturgill.
I don't know when they pit, but it was really fun racing Cody there. Because I thought he was on the same or newer tires than me, so we were I was driving my ass off to try to stay in front of him, and that was really fun. And yeah, I love these kind of races, these mile and a half, these speedways where you can get some long green runs, you get some strategies, things like that going on. It's a lot of fun.
Well, it definitely should. Again, congratulations. Any shout outs tonight?
Yeah, first of all, you guys up in the booth, you guys do a great job every week. It's cool to come talk to you. My teammates, Justin Lewis, congrats on the win. Maxwell Caldwell, Todd Merkel, the whole 1320 gang. I guess that's what we call ourselves. But yeah, good race, everybody.
You got
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. All right, that's Andrew Pileshi winning tonight. Coming in third, podium finish tonight here next week at Chicagoland. Yeah. We'll bring in Mr. Wyatt Gray in the broadcast booth. Wyatt, congratulations on your second place finish.
Thank you.
Yeah, great race tonight. You were kind of running good all night, but you qualified just a little bit off, but you definitely made your way back to the front.
Yeah, I was on a little different strategy there earlier in the race. I actually would have only had to make one more stop before that second yellow, which kind of put a wrench in it, but on that last run, we were pretty fast battling. We had that big battle for second there, so once I started falling off the leader, I decided to come in and put 2 on it and try to short him there, which got me the lead for a little bit, but on the long run, he got us, but obviously I'm happy with the P2 there.
Yeah, it was definitely that last stop. They got 2 tire stop was definitely a differentiator.
Mm-hmm. It kind of broke up that big pack there that was battling for second, got me away from them.
Well, congratulations on that. Hey, shout outs tonight.
Shout out Nathan Harper. He was the one that invited me to this league, and shout out my teammate Alex Lenny. He made our Origami Studios 42 Racing UK factory setups machine. So thank you to him.
You got it. All right, that's your second place finish tonight. Wyatt Gray coming in and having a great night here at Chicago. And I guess, Wyatt, we'll see you next week at Talladega.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. Thanks, guys.
You got it. All right, so without further ado, we'll bring our winner into the booth tonight, Mr. Justin Lewis.
What's happening, boys?
Hey, congratulations on the win.
Yeah, finally. I kind of had a heartbreak to my first race in the league at Vegas. We were leading, got a caution when I was in the pits, and that ruined that race for me. And then work kept me from New Hampshire, I think it was.
Yep.
Pretty much just wanted to make sure we came back out here. This has been a fun group so far.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we were pleasantly surprised by not only the good racing that we saw tonight, but also, it was good, it was fun, it was exciting racing. It wasn't but it was quality racing. It was also good racecraft tonight.
Yeah, for sure. The 88 and the 3, and then the 06. So I can't see names, numbers at the moment, but the 83, the 3, and the 06 were like, we were going to go at it, I think, if that was going to go green from the beginning, or after that first caution, rather. But that was fun. And I was trying to, like, the first one where I got to the lead, I was leading that thing. I was like, you know what? I think track position is going to matter more than I want it to. So kind of out of the norm for me. Well, actually, more back to my normal, I should say, as my teammates would tell me, because I'm usually the guy that'll go for it from green and try to get to the lead and stay there, but I burn my stuff up. So kind of back to my normal. I just kind of went up there and got on the wheel and just kept her going, got lucky, and I kind of babied the first pit stop, which, being new in a league is always tricky because you never know how these guys are going to be under green. Like, I was gun shy because Vegas, my first time pitting under green with this group, they had a caution when I was in the pit road. So I was like, I don't want to do this. And I pit, but dude, they're good. Like, some of these guys are insane getting on and off pit road. Like, the 06, what's his name? I keep forgetting his name.
Chris Farrell, yeah.
So he blew my damn door off going off pit road. I mean, he was going.
Yeah,
so,
we were remarking that some of the, especially that second round of pit stops, we saw, John, was it 14-4 stops?
Yeah, yep.
14-4 stops, which is ridiculously fast in the box time. So.
Yeah, like the pit box stuff, I think that's usually where I excel at. If I don't hit it perfect, I slide through and really cook it. But the entry, I'm usually really good at. But that first stop, yeah, just babied it and tried to, hit my marks and make sure we were fine. Because I felt okay, like I had a second lead. But I looked in my mirror and Chris was there. Like, there was nobody, and then he was just there. I'm like, oh my gosh, here we go. It's game time. And then he came off with me, and then I think being closer to the racing groove on the apron there was a little more grippy because I tried to stay like toward the grass and I was sliding the rear tires all the way through 1 and 2. Like, this is not going to be fun. And he came up beside me. I'm like, oh boy, we're going for it. We're in the 3 now. Let's do this. So yeah, no, just like, hey man, I didn't mean to do that, but that was fun. That was really fun. This group's been very fun to race with so far. Kind of sucks. I didn't know that this was this late in the league, but I would have had a blast trying to run a playoff. So I don't have a lot of leagues that I run that do a playoff system.
Oh, well, this is a fun group. Now, of course, next season, which will kind of mirror the actual NASCAR racing series, y'all should have a blast with that. So we'll run a full series starting in February for next season as well. So
yeah, I know that most of my group, Andrew probably said it too, like me, Andrew, Max, Todd, and Austin Call, who maybe hit or miss a little bit because I think he's about to go to college, so it makes me feel real old because he's about to go to college. I'm sitting here 26. But yeah, we've had a lot of fun in this. I think me and Andrew for sure are going to try to run full time the next season. I don't know about Max, maybe Todd. And like I said, Austin going to college, unless he can bring his sim to college. That'd be kind of cool, right? But I don't want to know how that would go.
Yep. Well, running off the university network can't be a bad thing. So
yeah, done no better than McDonald's, right?
That's right. All right. Well, congratulations. Of course, next week we are at Talladega. So how's your super speedway game?
Usually pretty good if we get my group like group going, we can usually make some stuff happen. But it seems like there's this is one of those leagues that have, legit teams, legit people that are all doing the same thing that normally we do. So we got a lot of experience with each other. It should be pretty fun to get at it with these guys. I like the aggression in this league. I kind of tuned into the broadcast last week since I was stuck at work. And just kind of watching. So it looked like a little too aggressive, but it's short track racing in New Hampshire. I don't like that place either, so I'll give it to them. But no, I think the aggression here was insane. That's why, I was like, I got to go back to the old Justin. I got to get after this to stay away from mid-pack, because Max and Andrew and Todd and Austin, they were all like, man, this mid-pack stuff is not fun. So,
Oh yeah, it was 3 and 4 wide at times. So
yeah, so there was one point I was like fourth, and I got put 3, and I'm like, okay, yeah, it's time to keep the track position, or we're going to be way out in left field. But yeah, Talladega should be very fun. Probably not going to see a lot of single file stuff. Probably a little bit. Most leagues, you have that little blah stage where it gets single file, but if it goes 2-3 wide, it's Talladega. We can handle it. 4 wide, probably still can handle it. But if we go any more than that, you'll probably see people on their lids and everything going everywhere. So it should be fun. I look forward to it. This league's awesome. Definitely going to be back. You guys did great. The broadcast sounds pretty good in the booth. I'm going to come back and watch that later. And then again, just give a shout out to Todd Merkel with Merkel Racing Engines for throwing his name on all my Cup cars. Max, Andrew, Austin, and that should be it.
all right, well, there's your winner, Justin Lewis, tonight here at Chicagoland on the IWM Broadcast Network. John, any parting words for tonight?
Just want to say congrats on the win, Justin. Great clinic that you put out there. Glad to have you. And next week, folks, we will be at Talladega. It is our cutoff race going into our playoff season. So that's one you don't want to miss. It might be a surprise winner. You may see somebody win on their lid. You never know where the winner's going to come from. So you definitely want to tune in then. And also tomorrow night, tune in to the INRS series. They will be live. We will be at, I believe, Homestead. Yeah, that'll be a fun race to call. So make sure to tune in tomorrow night and tune in for the rest of the season here on the IWM Broadcast Network.
All right, folks. Have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
Have a good one, boys.